I need to tell you something honest. I'm one of those people, the ones who wake at 5 a.m. and generally love it, the ones with the full morning ritual, meditation, movement, journaling, tea or coffee ceremony. On a typical morning, I spend 60 to 90 minutes in practice. But here's why I'm making this video, because most mornings aren't typical and most people aren't me. Welcome back, beautiful soul. I'm Gwen, and today we're talking about something that's been weighing on my heart. How do we make morning practice accessible when life is messy, time is scarce, and 5 a.m. feels like a punishment? It hit me during a particular chaotic season in my life. My precious morning hours kept shrinking. Some days I had 20 minutes, some days 10, some days barely 5. And in those compressed moments, I discovered something profound. The transformation doesn't live in the time, it lives in the turning. 5 intentional minutes can carry the same medicine as my full practice if you know how to distill the essence. This isn't about converting you to 5 a.m. wake ups. This isn't about making you like me. This is about you finding your way to touch the sacred in whatever morning you actually have, even if it's 5 minutes, even if it's messy, even if it's nothing like mine. When my mom's health declined, when being her medical power of attorney became part of my morning landscape, I watched my practice shrink at times, not by choice, by necessity. Phone calls with caretakers and doctors traveling to review care facilities and my mother's care, coordinating my role with siblings. My 90 minutes became 30, then 15, and some mornings just 5. At first, I grieved this loss. My practice was my identity. Who was I with only 5 minutes? But something unexpected happened. In those 5 minute mornings, I went straight to essence. No time for warming up, no space for performing spirituality, just direct contact with what mattered most. And you know what? Those compressed mornings held me just as steady as my long ones, sometimes more so, because they taught me to stop circling the sacred and dive straight in. Here's what those constrained mornings revealed. We've been measuring wrong. We count minutes when we should count presence. We track duration when we should track depth. My full practice is beautiful. I return to it whenever I can, but it's not the only way. It might not even be the best way for you. And that's what we need to talk about. Because if morning practice is only for people with 90 minutes and 5 a.m. enthusiasm, then we're leaving out almost everyone. And that's not okay with me. Whether you have 90 minutes or 5, every transformative morning practice has the same bones. Arrival, coming into your body and the present moment. Anchor, touching something deeper than the daily rush. Activation, choosing how you'll carry this into your day. In my full practice, arrival might be 20 minutes of meditation. In the 5 minute version, 3 breaths, same intention, different container. Here's exactly how those 5 minutes work. Minute 1, the landing feet on ground, hand on heart, 3 breaths where the exhale is longer than the inhale. You're not trying to feel peaceful. You're just arriving in your body, meeting yourself where you are. Minutes 2 and 3, the root touch. This is where you connect with your root word, your intention, your deeper knowing, not thinking about it, feeling it. I place my hand on my heart, speak trust 3 times, and ask, how do you want to move through me today? Then I listen, not for words, for knowing. Minutes 4 and 5, the bridge. Choose one thing, just one, that you'll do differently because of this practice. Maybe it's pausing before that difficult conversation. Maybe it's taking the stairs mindfully. Maybe it's saying no to something. Speak it aloud. Today I choose. Then seal it with gratitude for something real, the breath in your lungs, the choice in your hands. But what if you have more time? Beautiful. Add what calls to you: movement, writing, sitting in silence. Keep the 5-minute core as your non negotiable foundation, because life will test your practice. And when it does, you'll have something that survives. So some mornings I have my full 90 minutes. Some mornings I have 20. Some mornings, yes, still I have only 5. But I always have something, and that something is always enough. This isn't about lowering standards. It's about making practice possible for the single parent, the caregiver, the night shift worker, the person who thinks they're not a morning person, for anyone who's ever felt excluded from the morning ritual conversation. Since sharing this flexible approach to morning practice, I've been moved by some of the stories that I hear. A single mom wrote, "I do my 5 minutes in the bathroom. It's the only door with a lock. My kids think I have digestive issues, but those 5 minutes save me every day." A night shift nurse shared, "My morning is 4 p.m. I sit in my car for 5 minutes before going inside to my family. It changes everything about how I show up." An executive messaged, "I've failed at every morning practice for 20 years. This is the first one that's lasted a month because I can do it even on my worst day." Notice what these stories share. No one is trying to be me. They're not attempting my practice. They're finding their own way to touch the sacred in the margins of their real lives. And that's the whole point. Your practice doesn't need to look like mine. It needs to look like your life, with space carved out for the sacred. Here's what surprises me most. People who start with 5 minutes often naturally expand, not because they should, but because they want to. Once you taste that morning clarity, you crave a little more. But here's the key. They keep the 5-minute foundation. They might add tea before, a walk after, some journaling. But that core 5 minutes remains non-negotiable, because they've learned what I learned in my constrained season. You can always find 5 minutes. You can't always find 90. Let me be clear about something. If you have time for a longer practice and it feeds your soul, beautiful. Do it, protect it, let it be your sanctuary. But if you've been waiting to have enough time to start a morning practice, this is your permission to stop waiting. 5 minutes is enough. 5 minutes counts. 5 minutes can change everything. Ask yourself, when do I have 5 minutes that are actually mine? Maybe it's not even morning. Where can I be undisturbed? Car, bathroom, before others wake? What's my root word for this season? What would enough look like? Then start. Tomorrow, not perfect, not prepared, just willing. This isn't about morning routines. It's about proving to yourself that you matter, that your inner life deserves tending, that transformation doesn't require perfect conditions. It requires showing up. Every morning you choose those 5 minutes, you're saying, I'm worth this pause. My soul is worth feeding. My center is worth finding. And from that declaration, everything else flows. After years of full practice and seasons of abbreviated ones, here's what I know. The magic isn't in the method. It's in the returning again and again, whether you have 5 minutes or 50. Your practice will evolve. Life will test it. Some seasons will be spacious, others compressed. But if you build on a foundation of what's possible today instead of what's perfect, your practice will survive anything. Beautiful soul, whether you're a morning person or not, whether you have hours or minutes, whether today is easy or impossible, you have enough time to touch the sacred. You have enough space to remember who you are. Start with 5 minutes. Let them be imperfect. Let them be yours. Let them be the beginning of a conversation with your soul that lasts a lifetime. Tomorrow morning, you begin. Not my practice, yours. You are worthy of this pause. You are capable of this choice. You are ready for what 5 minutes might reveal. Thank you for being here, for considering that maybe, just maybe, morning practice is for you too.